Okay, one more lesson from PACE 1084 in math. This is your last PACE at this math level. And this is one of the toughest PACEs, I think, in this whole series of 12 PACEs. And you're almost done. This is one of the last concepts. I do want you to have a calculator handy as we go through this lesson. And I think some of these problems you'll find a lot easier to do if your parents or your supervisor allow you to use a calculator. Look at page 45. We're going to be talking about converting from Fahrenheit now to Celsius. Notice the formula is different. We're going to take the Fahrenheit temperature and subtract 32, take the answer to that and multiply it times 5/9. Let's think again about the order of operations. In the order of operations, we do what's in parentheses before we solve the rest of the problem. So if we know the Fahrenheit temperature and we plug it in here, subtract 32, multiply that answer times 5/9, simplify, and we'll have the temperature. I'm going to start with this temperature of 77. And this is one of the problems that you have for your homework on this page. And we'll kind of work through this together, all right, so that this will help you. I'm going to take the formula first of all. So the Celsius temperature is going to be 5/9 times 77 minus 32. Now what's 77 minus 32? All right, if we subtract, we would get 45. All right. I like to put that over 1 when I'm multiplying times 5 over 9. So what I did is I simplified the parentheses and got 45. I put it over 1 just to remember that it's the numerator. And now I can easily see that I can cross cancel here. So I don't even need a calculator. This one's pretty easy. I can divide this by 9 and get 5 and get 1 there. And now I can simplify 5 times 5 is 25 degrees. All right. Let's do this next one. I think I'll use a calculator when I do this one. So 5/9 parentheses 85 minus 32. All right, so we're going to take 85, subtract 32, it equals, all right, so we have 53, and then I'm going to take that times 5, and then divide that by 9. So 265 divided by 9 is 29.4, and the 4 just keeps repeating. And so I looked in the score key and I see that what they did is rounded the answer to 1 decimal place. And that was in degrees Celsius. So now here's a lesson for some of us who live in America where we use the Fahrenheit scale. If our temperature is 77 degrees, that's a really nice spring day. 85 is a nice summer day. But if we were in a country that used the Celsius scale, they would say, wow, it's such a nice spring day, it's 25 degrees. Or it's a hot summer day, it's 29 degrees or 30 degrees, okay? So that kind of helps us see the difference in the temperature scales with numbers that are reasonable. Now let's use a negative number, 5/9 times, I'm going to plug in the negative 20 minus 32. Now again, using a calculator is going to make this problem a little easier. So I'm going to put in the 20 with a negative in front of it, subtract 32 and hit equals. Make sure you hit the equals. So I have negative 52. Now I'm going to take that times 5 equals, divided by 9, so 260 divided by 9, negative 28.8 repeating. And so we'll round that off to negative 28.9 degrees. Whoops, we're going from Fahrenheit to Celsius, okay? And so that helps you see the steps involved in doing one of the problems there on page 46. So I'm going to end there and have you go back and review before you do the checkup. Make sure you know all the conversions in the metric system and deci and deca and kilo and all of those, and which ones you need to multiply by 10 or by 1,000 and all those conversions, but they're all just a matter of moving the decimal. So when you are in the metric or the metric system, it is a lot easier to convert from one metric unit to another because you're multiplying or dividing by multiples of 10. And so you just move the decimal one way or the other and you have the answer. A lot easier than in the English or the standard system. All right, so that concludes our lessons for this PACE 1084.